To quote Wrestlemania 20, I'm back where it all begins again. Back in the same field I'd done my last Wrestlemania video, previewing Wrestlemania 41, and here we are nearly a week on from the end of Wrestlemania 41, and I said I'd review it, and here I am, and what a lovely day it is again. And I thought, why not come back to the same spot? Okay, I've heard a lot of screaming, a lot of shouting, a lot of bitching and moaning on the socials. Was it the worst WrestleMania in history? Really? Come on. Shades go back on. It's not. Have you seen WrestleMania 11? That is garbage compared to what we've just witnessed. I've got a few things I want to say about night one compared to night two. Night one atmosphere was so boring. It was so dull. No wonder I fell asleep. Now, I stayed up for night one and night two, but I fell asleep during the opening match of night one. Night two, I managed to stay awake for the whole thing. What does that tell you? I think it's the atmosphere makes a show, and obviously great matches make a show as well, and entertainment. And night two absolutely trumped night one, 100%. Everyone I've spoken to has said exactly the same. So but I'll talk about night one first. The reason I fell asleep was because they started with Gunther and Jay, and I'll be brutally honest, I was kind of invested in the lead up to it. The fact it got so personal, bringing Jimmy into it, and the blood in London, and Jay saying that this is going to be one of the most brutal matches he's ever had. Was it? Fuck. I'm just not into it. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm doing it again. I'm apologising. One of my New Year's resolutions was stop saying I'm sorry in videos and in life. I didn't like it. I've watched it back. Yes, I was sleepy. I've watched it back. I hate the finish. But does the finish now become the new side of Gunther, where he's choking people out all the time, as we saw with him and Pat McAfee on Raw the next night, which, can I just say, was brilliant. Raw had everything, absolutely everything you want from the Raw after Mania, apart from the atmosphere. It was a bit iffy. But then I think all these hours of entertainment throughout that WrestleMania week, the crowd are naturally going to be tired. So there you go. I just didn't like the first match. It wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting a bloodbath. I was expecting carnage. And I think maybe the crowd were as well, because they were dead for it. Even for Jay winning, yes, there was a pop, and yes, there was the eating, but it wasn't as wild as I was expecting. There's been bigger yeets than that. But I'm not invested on the whole yeet movement. The Jay, it's nothing like the yes movement from years ago. Get in the comments if you disagree with me, but I'm not into it. Then I also saw, right, so I fell asleep for this one. The next match after was the New Day versus the War Raiders. Lots of people shitting all over this match and hating it. I thought it was bloody brilliant. But actually, I'm going a bit far. Bloody good. Good stuff. It was a good 10-minute tag team match, and we got new champs in the New Day, and I quite like this version of the New Day. I like heel New Day, because let's not forget they were heels back in the day. So it's nice that they've gone back to it. I'm just realising how shit my hair is. I need a haircut. Yeah, so I enjoyed that. I thought it was good. I'm ignoring what people say online. Not ignoring, I take it all in and read it and then bring this to you in return. Jay Cargill match. Other than the entrance for both of them, it was just a bit flat. Very disappointing. Maybe Jade's not ready yet, but how much time does she need? Is she ever going to be a great wrestler? I don't know. She has the overall look for women's wrestling, but I don't know. And it was, as I say, it was such a great storyline build up to this match. But there you go. What can you do? Next up, the crowd finally woke up when Jacob Fatu won the United States Championship from LA Knight. Now you would think LA Knight was the heel. My God, the pop for Jacob winning. Deserved. And don't be surprised if come WrestleMania 42 he's in the main event, one of the main events, night 1 or night 2. He could end up winning the Rumble next year. This guy is a future star, either as a mega heel or he could be massively over as a babyface. And he could end up being like one of these monster characters that does not need a title. Just saying. A bit like Gunther, actually. Does he need the belt now? Could he be like the modern day type of Andre figure where he just dominates and dominates and dominates? But I wanted more from his world title reign. Anyway, I've moved on from that one. Move on. El Grande was next. El Grandad. No wonder I was asleep for this one. Oh, it's very PG era stuff. I don't like it. It's boring. Not invested. The certain elements are humorous, of course, but nah, it's just not for me. And I think he will be unmasked at the first. Obviously, they've bought AAA. That first event in June is Worlds Collide. I can see him being unmasked there and it being a big celebration for the Mexican wrestlers. And I could see, I hope they really do push this whole thing to the moon and back and they really invest in it. But I could see it end up becoming like bloody 205 Live where it's all a bit meh. I'm sure they're going to have titles competed at WWE events or NXT events and blah 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 blah. That's my thoughts on that. Moving on swiftly, Tiffy time. Now again, a lot of people have shat all over this one and I loved it. I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was just the kind of match that those two needed, and the only thing I'd criticise is I can imagine if you were sitting in the stadium, particularly at a certain height, you wouldn't be able to tell who was who. They were wearing pretty much like for like outfits, and of course both got this golden blonde hair. But I loved it. I loved Tiffy holding up the belt at the end, and you could see, I think there was a tooth removed, so that was raw and brutal for her in her first Mania match and beating Charlotte. So I'm excited to see where they're going to go with Tiffy time. It is Tiffy time, and I can see it getting better and better, unless they're just going to do a straight rematch and she drops the belt to her, which would be shit. The main event, it was the main event for the 80s. It was storytelling at its fucking finest. The double turn from Paul Bastard Heyman. I actually have just re-watched that main event because I wanted to do it justice. Because obviously we've seen so much online. That clip of the turn is there, see that over and over again, but to actually go back and watch the match from start to finish, it's just a phenomenal match. It was a triple threat match of old. It was just a absolute classic from three of the modern greats, and I was really, really excited to watch it again. And the crowd were alive for it. They were just buzzing their absolute titties off for this one. And I'm so excited to see what sort of faction this is going to be. Obviously, Breaker's now involved. Man, good stuff. I called it. I go back to my previous. I said Rollins is going to win and Heyman's going to turn. You heard it here first with Flash Talks. Incredible stuff. What a way to end night one. And then obviously the excitement level was there come night two because the crowd were insane from the get-go. And let me tell you, the Women's World Tag match between this and the main event of night two, so two triple threat matches, were my favourites of the weekend. The women smashed it. First opening match, and I was so pleased Io Sky retained because she, in the storyline, she's been a bit of the background figure, and I did worry that Belair was going to get the win. I wouldn't have mind seeing Rhea get the belt again, but No, this is good. This is good. Such good shit. What a match that was. What a match it was. My recommendation, if you haven't watched WrestleMania, go back, watch night 2 first match and end of night 1 last match. They're the two best. Then we had Drew versus Priest in a Sin City street fight. Again, great match, good fun. Loved Priest's entrance, got to say that. And it was just classic WWE street fight, and I'm really pleased with how it went. And that going viral during the match of the mug shot from Drew was bloody brilliant. Loved it. The holy shit moment of the weekend. There's contenders for this, but I mean, there's quite a lot actually, isn't there? Because you got the Seth turn, you got the main event of night 2, which I'm coming up to. But for me, it's probably got to be Dirty Dom winning the IC title. I personally did not see it coming. We've seen since Raw launched on Netflix that they are so invested in Penta. I thought Penta was going to get the belt. I was shocked. Dirty Dom, Intercontinental Champion. Wow. That was good. Really good, fast-paced match, and the crowd loved it. You would think, Dom, this guy was getting booed out of build. Some of the loudest boos I've ever heard in wrestling just a year or so ago. Now, what a flip. Brilliant stuff. And I'm glad he keeps his look, because he is very much Eddie of old. He is playing up to the fact that fans still say Eddie Guerrero is his dad. Oh, it was brilliant. What can I move on to next? What was next? Let me just look at my notes down here. Hang on, I've got to get it right. Say his name. And he appears. I believe in Joe Hendrick. Another one I was not expecting. I mean, we were all saying Rusev. Of course, he came later on Raw. This was brilliant. And one of the best RKOs I've ever seen. And Joe Hendry. And we had a bit of a debate on our wrestling group chat that someone said that Joe Hendry's actually not that good. I disagree. Sometimes the smallest things in wrestling can get you so over, and he's all right. He's a good wrestler, and it was good fun. What an entrance! And the fact WWE, I know they've got the partnership with TNA now, but they gave the TNA World Champion an entrance at WrestleMania. That's something for the ages. See, how can this be the worst WrestleMania of all time? Piss off. Sleeper of the weekend, as in, why aren't people talking about it? Excuse me, I've got to just realise the time. I've got to get moving. Why aren't people talking about it? AJ Styles and Logan Paul. What a match that was. I loved it. I thought it was great, but no one seems to be talking about it. And can I also say, Logan Paul was destined for WWE. It just works. And he's now the guy that gets all the mega heat, and he's doing it really well. So hats off to him. And then we saw the return of Becky Lynch, and of course winning the tag titles, and then dropping the tag titles the next night, replacing Bayley. It's clearly in the story there that Bayley was taken out by Becky. So I am looking forward to that. Very, very much so. Just found something very interesting in a hole in the field. Giant hole. Interesting. There's me going off subject as I do. And then, of course, we moved to. Yeah, it was a quick match, wasn't it? But the better match was actually on Raw between them and the rematch, and Liv gets it back, but I love the heel turn of Becky Lynch. Hopefully it goes well this time, because last time no one was really invested in her as a heel. On what some are calling the worst Wrestlemania main event of all time. Oh my days, please don't. We've seen so many. Do you remember Cena and Miz? Do you remember Bam Bam, WrestleMania 11 and Lawrence Taylor? Come on. I can think of a few more actually. You can get in the comments if you want. There's definitely more than that. It wasn't terrible. Come on. I didn't need Travis Scott. That for me was the worst part about it all. It was a classic WWE match, a classic Cena match. He just gave minimal, and I think it fits well with his new character. I'm not giving you what you want. I'm not giving you the greatest hits. And I liked it. I love the entrance. I love the whole blackout everything. Well done. I'm not going to say here and say it was amazing, because it wasn't, and I don't feel the urge to go back and watch it like I did with Night One's main event. And I'm certainly not Dave LaGreca screaming and shouting. I don't think there's a need to. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. Obviously it's Randy Orton next. I think Cody's going to take some time off. I could see him coming back and winning Money in the Bank, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Could be very, very interesting. I can smell a Cody heel turn coming, and I hope so, because he's a natural heel. Anyway, that's me done. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Mania 41.